Released just a few weeks ago, Simagic's P500 pedals are the company's cheapest ever, offering a fully metallic build, 100kg Loadcell brake, included pedal plate, and modern aesthetics at $200, so here's my review. Facing off against the likes of the Thrustmaster t-lcms, the Moza SRPs, and the Fanatec CSLs, it's pretty clear that from a design and build quality point of view, the P500s are the clear winners. Every single pedal is identical, but their fully CNC machined metallic build looks very professional, sleek, and modern, this also giving a premium on-track experience at this price point. Starting off with how they actually feel on my feet, it's not a bad experience at all. The metallic pedal faces do feel of high quality, albeit they are a little bit slippery without shoes, and even though they are fairly small, I still do feel pretty comfortable with them. Further comfort can also be had thanks to the adjustability found here. Unlike some competitors, these can be moved left to right independently, the pedal face can shift in all directions, and its tilt can also be slightly fine-tuned. Another positive, especially considering the price point of this pedal set, will be the heel rest. Although it does have some pretty sharp edges, it is for the most part a nice experience. This heel rest not only complements the design language of the P500, but they're also fairly practical, with optional wall mount brackets available for those using these on the floor, hard mounting inserts for those on dedicated cockpits and wheel stands, and neat cable management routing to keep everything tidy. Now, of course, one of the biggest selling points of the P500 pedals, and something that you've surely noticed by now, will be the rumble motors located behind the pedal faces. These do not come included at this product's $200 price point, and neither does the clutch pedal. The clutch retails for $60 extra, and the PHPR Neo rumble motors, get this, they only retail for $16 each. So that's right, for the same price as a loaded Chipotle bowl, the PHPR Neo provides haptic sensations to your individual pedals. Effects such as ABS activation, traction control, gear shifts, RPMs, and several others can be activated on the Simagic software. Now, on track, they won't provide an ungodly night and day difference that will shave seconds off your lap time, but they will provide at least some sensation to up the immersion. So that said, let's now shift our focus to the on-track performance of the P500s, where there is a lot more to be said. Looking specifically at the throttle pedal, this is something that is pretty easy to nail, and I think Simagic have done that here. This throttle does have a long travel to it, giving me more than enough range for my throttle inputs. Similar to the other three, the fully metallic pedal face also feels very good, and of course the rumble motor adds a very neat effect here. As for the rumble motor that I have here on the throttle pedal, it's not giving me any type of competitive advantage, but it does feel very immersive. Right now I think I have it to rumble every time I up or downshift, and I do get that sensation, which is pretty cool to have. Like I think many of you guys know, I personally prefer a softer feel to my throttle pedal, and I can definitely get that here. But if you do want something a little bit more stiff, you can also configure that to your liking with the optional springs. Although at the end of the day, this still is an entry-level pedal set, so the throttle pedal here won't be as refined as you might find with something more expensive. But again, I think it does a really good job. It's worth noting that 6 different springs along with a stiffer elastomer for the brake is included in order to adjust the resistance of every individual pedal. However, regarding the clutch, apart from just being able to make it slightly stiffer, the experience there was fairly average. As we've seen many times with these more entry-level pedal sets, the clutch is usually the one that feels the worst, and I don't think that's an exception here. Similar to what you would feel with something like the Thrustmaster t-lcms or even the Loadcell pedal, for example, the clutch, it really does have no sense of bite point, and it feels nearly identical to the throttle. One of the positives that it does have is that it can be customized with the optional springs, this being something that other entry-level pedals usually can't do, and it also does have a fairly long travel to it, something that I personally like. Again though, in terms of immersion, the clutch pedal doesn't really give you that, albeit the rumble motors here are gonna help massively with that. every time that I up or downshift, I am feeling that sensation in the clutch, something that may not be super realistic, but is still very much helpful when it comes to the immersion. Also, I think that for the reasonable price point that Simagic is offering this clutch pedal at, most people who buy it probably won't be disappointed with it. So finally, the brake pedal continues a similar recipe to the other two. As stock, it comes with a very soft feel, this being more ideal for those using these on the floor, and the elastomers along with the stiffer blue, brown, or black springs also make the experience here far better. Now, as mentioned earlier, this pedal is fitted with a 100 kg load cell as well as a Hall effect sensor. You can switch between using one or the other on the Simagic software, but to be honest, why someone would opt to use the Hall effect over the load cell is something I don't really know. Anyways, something fairly unique about these pedals is also the braking feel. You see, despite running it on a stiffer configuration, the load cell here seems to have two stages, one with a softer feel where you push down to the maximum treble of the pedal, and the other where the load cell kicks in and measures input via pressure rather than travel. I felt this to be quite different to something like Moza's SRPs or Fanatec CSLs, where both load cell brakes there can feel far more firm without as much pedal travel. And then of course you add a rumble motor to this brake pedal to give the sensation of ABS activating, for example, and it makes for a very pleasant and impressive on-track feel. So the question of which is better I think will come down to personal preference, but as someone who has always preferred a softer brake, me personally, I'll take these over those other two. They are fully metallic in design, are free of any major type of flex, they actually look pretty good, and they can be customized quite a bit to give you most of the personalization that you might need. Of course, these pedals won't give you the exact same experience as some that are significantly higher end, but I do think that for the price they are offering very significant bang for your buck, and for entry-level sim racers, these will be more than enough. So in conclusion, for the price point, looks, adjustability, and the on-track performance, the Simagic P500s are a very strong contender in this entry-level price bracket. Overall, for the reasonable and competitive price point that Simagic is offering these pedals at, I can easily recommend them. So this has been my full review on the brand new Simagic P500 entry-level load cell pedals. Of course, a big thank you to Simagic for sending me these to review, and with all of that said, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.